Hi there, and welcome to this quick overview video just to cover the session and some of the things that we didn't quite get to in that session because 90 minutes is not a long time to talk about LinkedIn, as you've probably gathered. So we demystified LinkedIn to enhance your visibility, establish your authority, and earn influence in order to build that presence and profile and position for you. Now, we talked about LinkedIn as being the largest professional social network with a large user base, 10 million plus in Australia, 2 new members a second. Of the user base, 44% using it monthly. Of those, 40% use it daily, and an increase 50% year on year with engagement. 20 million jobs on LinkedIn, and the largest demographic growing are millennials. Recruiters are using LinkedIn, 87% to find people, 94% to vet candidates for jobs as well. So certainly worth spending some time in. We talked about the importance of your profile, which is to express your character, building a network of connections, engaging and sharing, curating, creating content, and how that can help your thought leadership and authority, and building community through engaging with other people's content, which will help you build your influence. So we talked about that your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room, and the room is online. And LinkedIn matters because people search in Google and your LinkedIn profile will rank for your name. So you will show up in Google. So like I said, do your homework, every couple of months, maybe every quarter, Google yourself anonymously, or what's called incognito, or a private browsing window, and do it that way so you get a bit of a blank canvas look at where you're showing up. Now, I'm going to jump into profile. So we talked about the 5 V's of your profile: your visuals, getting your profile photo right, your background image, and a tool you can use is Canva to create that. Expressing your value through that headline, through your about section and your experience. Validating your skills through the skills section and endorsements, recommendations and accomplishments. Having some video and other media on your profile to establish yourself, to share your portfolio, to connect, to show evidence where you've been mentioned in the media, and finding your voice, which is the content piece, an engagement piece, so that you can build community as well. Now, you want to make sure that your profile passes what I like to call the scroll test. You've got seconds to make that first impression. Particularly on a mobile, does your headline stand out and help people understand where you fit into their world? We went through 3 formats to write about yourself in your headline in that 120 characters, and we covered that. So here's the formats again in case you wanted to revisit them. Now, in terms of the rest of your profile, you've got the profile blueprint to refer to. So you can work through all the different areas to make sure that you are complete. So you've got all your contact info up to date, for instance, making sure that you've got up to date email and contact number for those people who are connected. Unpacking that about section, which we'll delve into. Making sure that your background, which includes your experience, your education, your licenses and certifications, and any volunteering, is up to date and connected to the page. You've got skills and endorsements. You're asking for some recommendations to build that social proof and also giving them. And you've got some accomplishments to sort of add the icing on the top of your cake, so to speak. So let's look at the about section. Now, this is the bit we didn't go into in a lot of detail because we were short on time. Because like I said, 90 minutes is not a long time to work on something. So if we look at the about section on your profile, you've got a few lines to grab attention. So we've got the couple of lines here, and then you've got the see more link. So you want to make sure that you've got something impactful in the beginning. And if you want people to be able to get in touch with you without having to go through LinkedIn, feel free to put your contact info. So I've got my phone number and email address because I want people to contact me. Now, if I click on see more, this is my about section, and you can see I'm using white space to make it easy to consume and scan through. Capital letters to give it some headings to separate it, and a couple of symbols to make bulleted lists, because this doesn't have any formatting. So you've got to make do with what you've got. So if I work through the 7-step formula, we have a teaser at the beginning, and that's the bit, those couple of lines here, to make sure you can capture attention for those people who are your D profiles. If you know disc profiling, they're the ones that are just going to get in, get out, and move on. You also want to capture attention so people click the see more and read more about you. So you see I've got a question. to start with. So you can either have a question or a statement about the main problem that you solve, contact info, and then because you want to get people to read on. You want to talk about what it is you do, big picture, what difference you're trying to make. So my mission is to blah. And then the problems you solve. So how you help them. So that's all encompassed here. How you help is a list of your skills, a list of your services, the main things that you're known for. So once again, thinking keywords. So I've got here all my strings of keywords here. Then why you? So what qualifies you to do the thing that you do? Sharing your any achievements, awards, big outcomes, certifications, anything that's specific to what you actually do. You can pop in here. Now mine's quite short here. I've just kept mine quite conversational, but I could list a few things. Now I've put mine under recognition here. So I've just sort of changed my own order here. So all my bits and pieces. There we go. And then the other part of the why you, which I've kind of used in this sentence here, is the why do you do what you do, or why, what about you? So think about if you change careers, what inspired you to change careers? What else do you do? What are your quirks? Some little things, little hints into who you are, but also triggers that if someone mentions the things, then they've clicked to see more and they've actually read your profile. So this is my bit of personality, sort of giving a bit of insights into who I am. And finally, the what next. Tell people what to do. Now, obviously, I'm in business. I want people to call me and book me. But, if it's for you, it might be, connect to you. It might be, if you'd like to have a chat, let's book a coffee, something like that. So that's your about section. So this is probably the most difficult piece of text to write on your profile because it's that introduction to who you are, where you're going, where you've been, so share your vision, share the difference you're trying to make in the world. So that's your next piece of homework. Google yourself, have a look at revisit your headline just to make sure that you're still happy with it, and then work on your about section. Then review your experience. Review your education, your license and certifications, and your volunteering to see if there's anything that you can add in to your profile. Review your skills and make sure that the 3 at the very top, which are pinned, are the most relevant to you right now and the pathway you're going on. Now, as a side, if you've got IT skills or you're quite advanced with things like the Microsoft products such as Excel or PowerPoint, you can click the take skilled quiz and you can do a quiz. Now, the quizzes are quite difficult. I've done a few and they're challenging. Didn't pass any of them. You need to be in the top 70th percentile to pass, and it's obviously you've got to get as many answers correct as you can, but it's also time-based. So there's no time to be Googling things and looking for answers. You need to be quite quick. If you fail, it doesn't publicly post that, but you can't take the test again for another 3 months. So that's just something to keep in mind. But it's worth doing if you've got the particular skills, particularly some programming skills. Now, recommendations we went through, really important part is social proof. Difficult to obtain. You need to ask for them most of the time. So ask for some questions, go to someone's profile, ask for a recommendation, do it at the very top, and request one and ask a few questions so you get one. Also give them. So if someone's made a difference in your world, then give them a recommendation by going to their profile, going to more, recommend, or going down to their recommendation section and then recommend. And write something that is useful for both of you because it will show up on both profiles, the person you're giving and your own, under the given area. We changed our profile URL, which is over here. So we've already done that. And incidentally, this is where you change your profile visibility. So for instance, if you were taking a break, you're going on a 6-month holiday, you can switch this and turn your visibility off. So you haven't deleted anything. It's just no longer visible. This is where you check if things like your profile photo, if it's not showing up. Sometimes it's reset to only first degree connections, or you might have accidentally done it. Make sure it's public if you want to be found and recognized by your network. Now, here's another area we didn't have time to go into today. It's called People Also Viewed. On your profile to the far right, you'll have this list of 10 people that show up in your profile, and it all comes from the LinkedIn algorithm. depending on people you're in conversations with, people that show up in search results with you, and people happen to be clicking on them. I turn this section off, and I recommend for most of my clients to do that because they're distractions, and they could be your competitors, and they could be people you don't know. So obviously this is from my perspective. I'm looking at my own profile. I know a lot of these people, but you can see here it says first. So Reg is someone I partner with. We've got different projects together. Anna, however, is a second degree connection, meaning we've got connections in common, but I don't know her. I'm not connected to her. And this person here also, Shay, I do know. I'm following her, but she's full. She's got 30,000 connections and can't accept anymore. So we are connected. So we're looking down this list. Some of these people do what I do. Some of the people I don't know very well. So I recommend turning it off. So to turn off people also viewed, you go to the Me option, go to settings and privacy, and then on the privacy tab, you go to the fourth one down, viewers of this profile also viewed, and turn it off. And then you get rid of the distractions on your profile, because someone might come to your profile looking for your help and see one of these people and get distracted and go off to their profile. So you don't really want that to happen. Now, another area of your profile that you'll see is, you can see here it's got open job opportunities, this grey box. If I click into this, this is some controls for yourself. You can select if you'd like to be contacted by recruiters. So if you're in the job market and it's private, no one else can see it except you and the recruiters. So you select job titles that are relevant to you, locations, how you'd like to be employed, and off you go. And then when it's no longer relevant, you turn it off. So that's an option to let recruiters know you are available. Now, if you'd like to go through a profile audit, I have an online course where you can follow it yourself. That's the link to find it. Alternatively, I can review it for you and provide you a report which you can action. So that's available on my website under my LinkedIn services. Now, the way LinkedIn works, and this is really important to understand, is in the 3 degrees. So I mentioned before on the people also view, you can see second. This is what it means here. So this is you. You have a list of online connections who are your first level connections. Either they've connected to you or you've connected to them. They have connections. So they have first level connections, which those people become your second level connections. Their first level connections become your third level connections. Now, the reason that's really important, and the reason you want to be growing your network in a strategic manner, is that obviously the larger your first degree network, the more access you've got to the second and the third. And also when you share content or when you engage with content, your connections see it. If they engage, they're exposing your content to their network. So that's quite powerful as well. But it's not about having the biggest network. We don't want to have close to 30,000 because that's too many. We want to keep it relevant. So think about who the people you want to influence, or who are the people that influence the people that you'd like to know. So these are some of the categories of people you might connect to. So ideal clients or employers, decision makers, influencers of those people, peers and potential partners for projects, leaders and authorities in your industry, stakeholders, even friends and people you meet at events. So make sure you connect to them. And the way you connect, you want to connect to them, but you want to connect with conversation. So on desktop, easy, hit the connect button, you get a little box and you fill it out and tell them how you know them, or tell them something of interesting that you saw on their profile or read in their content. On mobile, it's slightly different. I always say avoid the connect button, hit the more button, and then personalize here. Now, the reason you want to personalize, other than it being good manners, is that you're telling your future self how you know that person, where you connected, or why you connected to them. So if you're ever wondering, particularly if you're cleaning out your connections, you can go back to your message history and find that information. Now, if you see a profile like mine, which doesn't have a connect button, you will find connect by going to more and connect. So it will be here. Incidentally, that's where follow is. So you might find people that you're not ready to connect with yet, but you might want to follow. Now, the difference between a connect and a follow is connections is a two-way relationship. You can both message each other. You see each other's updates in the home feed. When you follow someone, you see their updates in your home feed potentially, but they don't see yours and you can't message each other. So it's a one-way relationship. And when we talk about engaging and starting to build that community, you've got 3 things you can do. You can like something, which is the easiest. You can react, which is slightly just expanding on the like. So things like curious, love, insightful. But the most powerful is commenting, because commenting is where the conversation happens, and commenting allows you to bring out your personality and your expertise and to be memorable. So that when you comment on someone's update, their network will see it and beyond. Whereas a like, it gets missed quite easily. So let's finish up with the roadmap. So if you're looking to build a relationship with someone, you can search, use advanced search features. And I run workshops, and it's part of my coaching, how to use search with filters, how to come up with that shortlist, look at their profiles to leave a footprint behind. You might want to follow their profile, their company page, to find out a bit of information. You might like and comment on their updates, and at some point you're going to connect to them with conversation. They may instantly connect to you. Once they've accepted, you're going to send them a message, a welcome message, or reply to theirs. Engage with activity, which is public. Engage through messaging, which is private. And then you might come to that scheduling a meeting. So if this, depending on what that relationship looks like. Make sure you look at my profile and start the 7-day LinkedIn challenge, which gives you a tip every day, something quick and easy you can do on your profile. And don't forget that when you're networking, you've got the inbuilt digital business card in your profile that you can show your card or your QR code, and someone can scan it, and vice versa. And of course, if you're going to a conference, use the nearby feature in the room. Someone needs to show it, so why not you? Tell everybody to turn on the nearby feature by going to the little blue circle at the bottom right and turning nearby on. And remember, it only works when you're actually in this feature, and the people will start popping up on the list of people in the room. And then you go out and it turns itself off, which is really useful. So there you go. That's a bit of a summary of the session today, with a bit more information for the things that we didn't quite get to. But hopefully you found this useful. If I can help you further, please get in touch. I offer LinkedIn profile reviews, as I mentioned, even profile writing services as part of my suite of offerings, training, so I've got lots of different workshops, and of course coaching. I've got coaching programs to really help people understand how they can use LinkedIn and get moving so that they do get results. And of course, you're welcome to connect to me if we're not already. So thanks very much for watching this quick video, and I look forward to seeing you on LinkedIn.